Алоха, ребятки, это канал Серийный Гейм, и вы можете спросить, какого хрена мы делаем в главном меню Baldur's Gate 3. А я вам скажу, у Baldur's Gate есть эпилог после всего. То есть мы в прошлый раз мы с вами все прошли, но, дальше еще на целый час у нас эпилог, так что сейчас будем смотреть.
When the invitation came, you were hip-deep in Lemur's slime, swarmed by hell wasps, and about to drive the killing blow on a magma claw. Cutting through the dreadful buzz of the wasps and the screams of the damned, a familiar, comforting voice echoed in.
А где ваша нормальная броня?
Withers, who requested your attendance in Faerun to gather with your friends and allies. Those who stood against the absolute at your side. A reprieve from
Это у нас эпилог.
A few hours of respite with the stars above and good company to cheer you. Karlach's heart can take the strain of leaving Avernus for a few short hours, but it might burst with joy to see those friends again.
Иссохший, ты решил нас всех собрать? Гейл все-таки достал корону и стал богом.
Thou wert called here, some from above, some below. For with thine bond, together thou hast kept the wheel of fate spinning when it threatened to halt. Though thou wert drawn far apart in the months after the collapse of the Absolute, tonight,
много месяцев это сколько?
Once more, thou shouldst take care to preserve it. It is a great weapon wielded in the hand of good. Go. Know one another once more.
Да, ну давайте поговорим со всеми, узнаем, как у них дела.
Keeping us all on tenterhooks so you could make a dramatic entrance, is it?
Медвесыч, я тебя в бою не применила, как у тебя дела?
Friend, you came. Big brother Scratch too. Happy.
Блин, бронированный медвесыч, это же крутота.
Yes, miss this more. Lots. Make friends with a turtle, a cat, a kraken. Kraken eats my cat friend, so I bite, kill. With shiny clothes, I am strong. Tired now. Want sleep, want cave.
Похоже, тебе нужен кто-то, кто будет за тобой ухаживать. Как тебе, Shadowheart?
Nice lady. She gives pets and tasty things. I like her. I go to her.
Кстати, ты тут, где она где-то тут ходила.
Starting to wonder if you'd show up.
Мгновенное перемещение заверно, тебе не комар начихал, удивляюсь, как Исоша смог нас сюда притащить.
He's quite powerful for a fellow content to loiter in our camp the whole time, isn't he? I wonder if he'll ever reveal what he's been up to exactly. But no matter. If Wither's wily ways are what it takes to have you here with us, then I'm all for it. Well, come here, will you? It's been forever.
Подружайки. Надо ее предупредить, если это будет возможно, что мы ей Медвесыча отдаем.
You feel a little more substantial than before. Less camping and scrounging off the land, I take it.
Буду считать это комплиментом. Ты хорошо выглядишь.
I suppose I do, don't I? I'm glad you seem well. Truly.
Я должна тебе признаться, я кое-что на тебя подписала.
Is that so? And what liberties did you decide to take exactly?
Я надеюсь, что тебе захотелось бы еще одного спутника, такого, знаешь, большого и в перьях.
Of course I'll have him. If he wants to come with me, that's
Он будет рад.
I'd have offered sooner, but everything was a blur after the battle. I thought he'd gone to roam free. Are you sure he'd want to join?
Он нормально,
Not exactly
он рад.
settled anywhere right now. It could be dangerous at times.
Как будто для него это что-то новое. Ему все понравится, вот увидишь.
All right then. It's settled. Oh, the things we'll get up to.
Ну, расскажи, чем ты занималась.
Wandering, mostly. The adventuring life is almost a tonic when you're not constantly threatened by brain monsters and cultists. I can finally see the world beyond the cloister.
Расскажи мне все, где ты была, что видела.
One of my first stops was the House of the Moon in Waterdeep. It's the largest temple of Selûne in existence. It seemed like the perfect spot to reflect on my parents, on where they came from. And where I came from too, I suppose. Hard to imagine, isn't it? Me, of all people, in the lair of the Moon Witch herself. Gods, your truest act of heroism was...
О, да. Как долго меня выносило с твоей шаритской веры.
Oh, I know they are. I can still sense them, I think. And one day we'll be reunited.
Чем еще ты занималась?
Well, I've had run-ins with my former fellow Sharans on a couple of occasions. Word seems to have spread of what happened at the cloister. Now other chapters of Shar worshippers see me as a prime target to offer up to their lady as a sacrifice. Don't worry. I know their tired old tricks better than anyone. They'll need more than a hooded cloak and poison blade to best me. Especially when I have a friend on the inside keeping me abreast of their predictable little plans.
Ты про Ноктюрнал?
None other. The matter of her faith and allegiances remains complicated, let's say. But she is still my oldest friend. I have hopes that perhaps she might turn from Shar entirely given time. But that's a decision she will have to make for herself. If that day comes, I'll be ready.
Какие у тебя дальше
I
планы?
don't know. Which is just the way I like it just now. Perhaps I'll just stick a pin in a map and see what I find, or head to the docks in the morning and scrounge a berth to find somewhere new. I'd like to see the islands, maybe, or head south to Arm. I heard there's an enclave of werecats that hunt the followers of dark gods by moonlight. I'd love to see.
Какие-то каджиты своеобразные.
Enough about me. What have you been up to?
А где ответы?
Don't be a stranger.
Ответов нет. Ну ладно. Косяк.
There you are. Gods, I smell like a 70-year-old cinder. Withers yanked me from Avernus with my blade halfway through a Cambion's belly without so much as a chance at washing up.
Там речка рядом.
And from the smell of it, you're in the same condition.
Ну вообще да.
I'll forget all that. By the stars' light and the moon's glow, it's so good to see you. And I've got so much to tell you. The hell hunt's no mere duty. It's a thrill. The demons I've disintegrated. The devilkin I've bled. The stories I could share. I don't suppose you'd indulge me. You'll have to choose one tale and one tale only, I'm afraid, or I'll be yammering all night. You want to hear about the Amnitsu at the Styx, the three-tusked Orthon, or the invading Goristroy?
Ну, давай про Амнизу.
Styx devils, they're called. They usually prefer the frozen wastes of Stygia, but Zariel's got a few of her own for guarding the River of Blood. Fat bastards, all of them. Was on the heels of Amerigan who'd been stalking the wild hills and sprinted a little too close to the Styx. I felt my mind start to drain, an Amnitsu speciality. Bought just enough time for one of its minions to grab me and dangle me over the river. Could feel the Styx tugging at my memories as I hung over it, eager to drink me dry. Good thing I never touched foot in the hells without my companion wolf, Lily. She was just the distraction I needed. She nipped at the minion's heels and I leapt from its grasp, unsheathed my short swords, and rushed at the Amnitsu in a fury. When we'd finished, all that remained was a pair of paltry wings atop a pile of viscera.
Для колдуна без способности ты неплохо справляешься с убийствами.
Losing the eldritch blasts and the hexes took some getting used to. Nothing but void, where once there was hellfire.
Зато теперь ты ничего не должен Мизоре.
Using the lessons my father once taught me. The blade of Avernus is a ranger, a hunter of the most hellish prey.
Твой отец должно быть гордиться тобой. Ты у него бываешь?
More than a few times, and he's as proud of me as I am of him. He's leading the city's renewal, opened the gates to all newcomers, rebuilt the council from scratch. And
Карак, ты что там делаешь?
his element, commanding the flaming fist with brave heart.
Вы это видели?
Shortage of empathy. The likes of Gortash can bend people's minds with a few chosen words. No tadpole needed. Bane's chosen primed the fist for a war they weren't meant to win. He convinced them there was an assassin hiding in every shadow, that cruelty was the correct answer to crisis. With a few exceptions, fathers pardoned every last fist. If my forgiveness not be Tyr's will, so be it. I shall forgive them all the same. His words, not mine. He still believes in the bow and the blade, but with Floric's help, he's teaching the fist a new lesson. Valor is found not in the wounds you inflict, but in the lives that you have bettered. May they all take it to heart.
А ну пойдем.
The night's young. You shouldn't waste a moment of it. Or waste a single drop of wine for that matter. I plan on downing half a bottle myself. Oops. Did I say half a bottle? I meant half a dozen.
Так, Джахейра.
Well now. You can make yourself presentable when you have a mind to.
Ну, так себе, знаешь, я выгляжу. Мне тоже тебе не хватало, Джахейра.
Ah, how nice to be understood again. I have spent the past months bickering with builders and bankers. All to
Помогаешь
restore the
восстанавливать
city
город?
exactly as it was. Same twisting alleys for purse pickers. Same wooden buildings ready to get burnt by next year's dragon. Same cisterns overflowing. Huh.
Вроде поговаривают, что верхний город был уничтожен
The upper
полностью.
city has been almost entirely rebuilt. That's where the gold is. Even the builder's scaffolds are cleared from the streets.
Вот в верхнем городе, кстати, мы с вами ни разу и не побывали. И насколько я видела информацию, его убрали. То есть он должен был быть, но его убрали, потому что иначе третий акт становился очень громоздким.
Perhaps all three. But nothing I will sniff at any longer. Harpers have come from half the world over to lend aid. Farmers, masons, healers. My own son, Jord, has been wooed to their ranks. Already he plans crop cycles in Worm's Crossing. Not so for my daughter. Ryan's rejoined the Flaming Fist. Temporarily, you understand. To organize the craftsmen. Though she spends more time locking up comrades for pocketing 8 ones. They might learn a thing or two if they don't expel her. Again.
Ладно, все это прекрасно, но ты-то как? Я ждал узнать новости.
Honestly, much more sitting down than I'd like. Mistake me not. There is still much to be done. Plans to make, maps to be frowned over. But my children are more than capable of doing it. Even the young ones tire of me peeking over their shoulders. This night offers them a brief respite from me, at least. And this place, now I look at it, it is where you all spent your first night together, no? A fine spot for an adventure to begin. A fine spot indeed.
У тебя есть приключения на примете?
Just a little wander, perhaps. To stretch the legs. I'll find my way back. As I always do. I admit defeat. Baldur's Gate is my home. But that is the thing about home. The only way to see it clearly is to leave. And look back. For a little while, at least. For all your travels, I hope you have arrived where you want to be. Home. Whatever that means to you.
Мы с Карлах дом для друг друга в полном опасности,
Karlach
верно.
is lucky to have you. And know that you are not forgotten. If your friends don't drag you from the hells, it will only be because you freed yourself first. But there will be more to discuss on that matter. First, I must inspect the refreshments. You'll never know. Some ne'er-do-well might have tampered with the wine.
Отсылочки к нашей первой встрече. Так, Лизель, у тебя чё как? Я так понимаю, ты не лично явилась, а это твоя...
The Hell's Walker returns.
проекция?
2 months I trained the Knights of the Comet. For 2 more I skewered Kithraki.
А, это прошло полгода. То есть вот спустя полгода вот мы встретились все.
I never imagined we'd be standing toe-to-toe on this day, in this place. Nothing but allies, I always told myself. A necessary partnership. But in spite of every strained word, every barbed glance, seeing you brings me even more pleasure than taking a Royal Inquisitor's head.
Выходит, план по свержению Волокит разворачивается полным ходом.
Spilled blood, gained a foothold in the astral, but still we need allies. And one beyond reckoning has made itself known. Zerith Minyaragith.
Что это такое?
Not a what, but a who. The immortal god king of the Githzerai. An exiled people. Once kin with mine, until the madness of civil war ripped our one sky into 2. Algish sent word of the rebellion to Minyaragith through the cosmos. He's agreed to parley. It's fallen to me to secure an alliance.
Погоди, великая воительница Лизе с дипломатической миссией?
Exactly the reaction I expected. My blade is keen as ever. But it was you who showed me that a proper victory doesn't always require a razor-sharp edge. Sometimes, a sincere plea is more persuasive than a dagger against the neck. Minyaragith is an ascetic. He reached out in good faith. This is his way. It is in this spirit that I must meet him. And if he refuses, I carry on. Gravity pulls me in but one direction. I am the comet. I will not rest until I burn Vlaakith's bones to ash and smash her phylactery to pieces. My people will be free. But you've heard that refrain before. Zealous, bossy, insistent. All part and parcel of my undeniable charm.
Удачи, Лейзель.
And to you, always. Now go, mingle a bit. That's the word, right? Mingle.
Да.
But don't think you've seen the last of me. I'll be back. Sure as the comet will rise. Sure as Kalir will forever circle the sun.
Так. Астарион.
Engine's cooking hotter here.
Well, look who decided to turn up. I wasn't sure our withered old friend could live up to his promise. But here we are. And look at you. Straight from the hells, still reeking of brimstone. I take it you've been having fun.
Было не сладко, но, по крайней мере, мы с Карлак там вместе.
Yes, the right person can make just about anything bearable. And it seems like you found exactly the right person.
А как поживаешь ты? Как мой любимый кровосос?
I've taken a turn as an adventurer and hero.
Да ладно!
It turns out
То, как ты не одобрял все мои действия положительные. Астарион на стороне добра, кто бы мог подумать.
Let's not get carried away, darling. I'm still me. Perhaps more me than I've ever been.
И какие же у тебя дальше планы продолжать жить порядочной жизнью?
Hardly. Good people don't spend as much time lurking in the dark as I do. You know, it's funny. At first, I thought I was trapped by the shadows, cursed to live in them forever. But in time, I realized that darkness is as much a part of me as my fangs. This is only a curse as long as I refuse to embrace the
Ты к
shadows.
психологу, что ли, ходил все эти полгода?
I decided I
Ты чё такой адекватный?
I decided not to be defined by the choices other people made, by what other people did to me. My past may be done, but my present, my future, they're mine. This is who I am, in all my glory, for better and for worse.
Я рада, да, слушай, тебе идет
But that being
принятие.
said, I haven't completely given up on returning to the sun. If the opportunity presented itself, well, I wouldn't say no. But until then, I am happy. We've had quite the journey, you and I. From the moment I first threatened you, I knew you were someone special. Someone to take on the world with. I will miss our time together. But then again, maybe this isn't goodbye. So much as it's, see you later, darling.
Так, с этими поговорили, с этими поговорили. Карлак, почему ты со знаком восклицательно стоишь?
Oh shit. Oh my god. He wasn't kidding. Where's your mad bastard? You brought us back! Commander Zula won't know where the fuck we went! Oh man, I can't wait to say hi to everyone. Look at them, the beauts. Rest up, soldier. My tin can will be alright for the night. And you and me will get to sleep with both eyes shut for the first time in 6 months? Then again, maybe we won't sleep at all.
А вот это мне уже нравится.
My love. See you soon. Come here, you goon.
У меня вопрос, куда дели броню и оружие, которые я добывала всю игру? Вашу ж Машу. Просто в то, в чем они сейчас, но это не тянет на какую-то классную бронь. Даже если это какая-то легкая броня. Ну, видимо, демоны совсем обсосные, раз моя в футболке сражаться может спокойно.
Before you go, I've been thinking about those blueprints we found. Zariel's probably got a load of Cambions guarding that forge. I'm sure she knows I'll want in. She'll do anything to stop me from fixing this thing. I might have an in with one of the guards, though. You may remember my old friend Flo. Not sure she'll help us, but maybe. We might get to come home. Permanently. Maybe even sooner than we think.
А вот это здорово. Видишь, надо было меня слушать. Я говорила, что надо возвращаться в Аверны, и тогда там все сделаем. Так, Джахерой поговорили, с Уиллом поговорили. Хальсин, чё кого?
You would think someone of my vintage would be inured to the passage of time. Yet these past 6 months have seemed endless without your company. But now our paths cross once more.
Дай-ка угадай, как было задумано природой.
Just as I hoped they would, more like. The Oak Father has been kind to me this past while. Yet I cannot forget the bond we all forged together. It is one that can weather any distance, any passage of time. I know it can, for I feel the longing for old friends in my heart each day.
Хочешь, я тебя обниму?
I always do. Should I ever decline, assume a doppelganger has taken my place.
Большой дядя Хальсин. Капец, он огроменный. Ну, из-за того, что он полуэльф, ему это простительно все-таки.
That was more than worth the wait.
Надеюсь, это не последний раз.
My arms shall be ready. Now, we have much to catch up on. Do not allow me to ramble on. I am eager to hear all you've been doing.
Ты первый, Хальсин. Я хочу все узнать о твоей теперешней жизни, о тех, кому ты помог.
Very well. Our community grows rapidly. In 6 months, we have turned what was once a shadowy wasteland into a true home for all. In another 6 months, I would wager the scars of the past will be entirely invisible, even to those who remember them. The old masonry of Moonrise Towers and Wraithwin have been repurposed into new homes, and the land is rich with harvests and bountiful trees. Nature and civilization are in harmony, stronger together.
Тебе кажется, целая куча подопечных? Целых 9 повозок, если не ошибаюсь.
My greatest purpose and greatest reward. Those children have been through more than fate had any right to cast at them, and yet they go on as resilient as anything in nature. I impart what knowledge I can to them, yet, in truth, they teach me far more. The land we saved is theirs, and they will cherish it, I'm sure.
Ну, осталось много беспризорных детей, и вот Хальсин стал для них батей. Тебе мой черед, полагаю?
Spare no details. I shall not lie. I have an ulterior motive in wishing to hear all. It is the children, you see. My charges. Their appetite for bedtime tales is greater than I could ever have anticipated. Another story, Daddy Halsin. Another is the chorus that greets me each nightfall. They have all but exhausted my repertoire in but a few short months. No mean feat given the lifetime I have lived. I desperately need new material, please. My reputation is at stake. I am all ears. Though I never cared for that phrase. A rather unsettling image.
Рассказать качественно обо всем, что произошло с тобой за последние полгода.
You have kept yourself busy. I expected no less in truth. I shall be able to keep the children enthralled for a few more nights yet, thanks to you. And should you wish to retell of your exploits in person, well, I shall not object to a night off. Now, it would be cruel of me to hoard you all to myself for the evening, as much as I would like to. I shall leave you to the others for now, unless there was anything else.
А расскажи мне о Тане и Оливере. Вы часто видитесь?
Quite often. They come and go as they please, but with so many playmates to avail of, they are far from strangers. They ask after you often. What you did for them will never be forgotten. I can see it in the land all around me. But more importantly, I see it in their faces whenever they visit. To make a child smile is to dabble with the power of gods, as far as I'm concerned.
Я так понимаю, ты до сих пор немало времени бродишь по лесам медвежьим обличьем?
I spend half my days in ursine form. The children demand it. I had a score of them taking turns riding upon my back just days ago. I'm glad they are so comfortable with the Oak Father's creations. But they must learn that not all are as amiable as I am. A lesson for another time, though. They deserve some joy. As for roaming, that impulse has dwindled, I must admit. Perhaps because I have found where I am meant to be.
Не кажется ли ты решила сесть на одном месте? Странно, я всегда думала, это против твоей природы.
As did I, but somehow I feel like I no longer need to roam. That I have found something worthy laying roots for. Amazing what can be discovered about oneself, even at a ripe old age.
Что насчет рощи? Держите связь?
On occasion, but I prefer not to interfere. Francesca of the High Forest is Archdruid now, and by all accounts, she has proven to be a steady and wise influence. Even Korga may yet find true balance, thanks to her influence. Before you go, I have something for you. Just a little keepsake.
Ну, говорить я не помню, а то, что ты сидел их и вырезал, я видела.
I made this. Ducks are my favorite.
Что красивая.
I thought they were particularly fitting in this case. They are migratory birds, of course, traveling far and wide with the turn of the seasons. Yet, they always find their way back to where they belong. Just like old friends find themselves back in each other's company. Just a token to remember me by. Now, I've taken up enough of your time. Go on. Enjoy the festivities. We can speak again later.
Так. О, Минск.
You see, Boo? Boo! We are not dreaming.
Эй, Бу, привет.
It's our old friend.
Что бы стряслось, ты ужасно выглядишь.
Boo suggests that a hello is more traditional. You will forgive the aroma, I hope. We were not expecting the Dusty One to open a portal to our very cell. Boo had a moment to lick himself clean, but there is a little too much of Minsk to cover.
Сидел в камере? За что?
Minsk and Boo have been helping, of course. We guard the streets, while Jahira is occupied with harperish matters. The Zentarum rule the city's underbelly. So Minsk
Зенты? Но мы же их убили и все им порушили.
Battle cries, some manner of
Что-то какая-то странная история. Там Девятипалая должна была остаться со своими ребятами.
Execution, says Boo, though I am not sure of the difference. It is a long walk to the gallows, and Minsk still has his fists, no?
А Джахир, знаешь, что ты сорвался с цепи?
She told Minsk and Boo to behave themselves, which is why we shall be back in our cell by dawn. But leave such matters for the morn. Tonight is for celebration and the telling of tales. How have you filled your days since we tore this sticky tyrant from the sky?
Мы с Карах отправились в ад, сражаемся там с дьяволом и ищем, как починить ее сердце.
Oh, Boo, do you know what it would mean? To find a cure for Karlak's heart? Exactly! Her heart would be cured! Oh, when this day comes, you must come and bunk with Minsk and Boo. There is much merriment to be made before the night is done. Go and greet the others. Minsk shall make himself...
Рядом есть речка, идите помойтесь там, и мыло с собой захвати.
Though I see no soap, so you shall have to blow the bubbles for me.
I can eat a beholder. What's cooking?
Так, теперь вроде со всеми поговорили.
I'd take rat over this any day.
Трубадур. Забытый трубадур Милел.
Oh, hello. Let me guess, you've got some suggestions about the music choice.
Ты какой-то хмурый. Мне казалось, барды должны излучать энергию, веселье.
I find it hard to summon up the trademark pep these days. You have no idea who I am, do you? I thought Withers might have set the stage a little.
Откуда ты знаешь иссохшего?
I owe him a favor, one he is eternally invoking. I thought honoring the worthy was a fair price to pay for Withers to pull me out of the fugue plane. Alas, one purgatory to another.
Что ты делал на плане мертвых?
Languishing in obscurity. Cyric knew what he was doing when he punished me for that song, the prick. Before I was banished to the fugue plane, I had song prayers coming out the proverbial ears. Guess how many I get now? None.
Musical prayers were once offered to Menil, Lord of Song, a minor deity whose worship faded after offending the trickster god Cyric.
I'm washed up, I'm afraid.
Я больше не соглашусь, это большая честь, когда тебе сложили балладу сам Милел, владыка песен.
You know.
Немножко порадуем бедного, а то что-то он совсем в плохом настроении.
The scribe picks an adventurer of substance, of culture. What can I do you for?
У него клёвый поясок.
Your wish is my... etc. What song do you want? Fantastic idea. It'll suit the whole affair perfectly.
Слушайте, эпилог на целый час. Со всеми поговорить, узнать, как у всех дела. Волод! И ты тут? И Соша и тебя сюда притащил?
Ah, my dear friend, it's been an age, has it not? You're looking very well indeed. Our skeletal friend will be very pleased to see I found my way here, despite my invitation getting lost in the process.
А, он тебя не приглашал. Ты, наверное, пришел просить мне одобрения на издание очередной книги Откровений.
Oh, I wouldn't bother you with such things during a party. And anyway, I've gotten quite good at replicating your signature, so you needn't even bother with the release form.
Нормально.
You might help me with the title, though. I'm considering The Hero and Me. What do you think? Me. It's all Volo as far as I'm concerned. Perhaps, once the manuscript is finished, you'd even be willing to write a foreword? Or better yet, I'll write a draft and you can just sign your name. Better still, I'll sign it for you. Hmm? Ah, your success really has been wonderful for my reputation. But you mustn't let me hog your attention all night, my friend. You've many friends to chat to, and I'd love to listen in.
Гейл, как тебе твое божественное?
Goodness. Was Faerun always so dull? Still, at least the company was worth the trip, if not the view.
Значит, ты сумел, ты стал
I
богом.
told you I would, didn't I? I imagine you're wondering how all this came to be. The finer points of divine ascension are beyond mortal comprehension, I'm afraid, but I can provide a rudimentary sequence of events. First, I retrieved the crown of Karsus and reforged it using a series of precise and highly complex Netherese incantations. Then, I used it. As you know, the orb within me was the half-formed Karsite Weaver. Magic left incomplete by Karsus' self-destruction. I finished it. Using the crown of Karsus, I turned it into a new form of magic, fused with my being, driven by my purpose. And then I put it to work. As expected, Mystra was unwilling to hand over the reins of the weave, so I've claimed dominion over another area which I've passing familiarity. Ambition.
И что же бог амбиций предлагает своим последователям?
Offer them nothing. I inspire them to seize their destinies for themselves. Great as the heights I've reached thus far may be, I've not forgotten my humble origins. In fact, they're central to my doctrine. Those drawn to the Galarian Creed merely seek my guidance as the impressive, all-powerful being I've become. Ambition is about beginnings. It's not just about the heights, but the lows that preceded them. I was nothing. A drifting dust mote of a wizard, abandoned by my goddess, my powers lost, my reputation destroyed. And look at me now.
Вообще, это сектантство какое-то.
Proof their hopes are not barren wastes, but the loamy soil in which their future achievements flourish. Proof that with ambition, anything is possible.
Любопытно, то есть ты даешь силы смертным, чтобы они помогали самим себе?
Though that isn't to say I'm averse to the odd bit of direct encouragement. A whisper in the ear of a struggling artisan. A breeze to flutter the pages of a tome before a frustrated mage. A magical weapon stumbled upon by a desperate would-be hero. I am ambition incarnate. As indistinguishable from that most potent sensation as Mystra herself is from the weave. And word is spreading. There are already several shrines in my honor scattered across the outer reaches of Thay, and rumors of a very prominent temple under construction in Arm. This is only the beginning.
Что бы ему ответить? Так, мне кажется, это конец. Во всяком случае, Гела, которого я когда-то знала, больше нет. Если тебе когда-нибудь понадобится избран, ты знаешь, где меня найти. Ну что, Гейл, я впечатлена. Блин, ну, стать богом честолюбия и амбиций, не то чтобы сильно плохо, но давать силы без разбора каждому смертному, у которого какие-то офигенные амбиции, тоже может плохо кончиться, а разгребать это будешь явно не ты. Поэтому тут такое 50-50. Давайте первый ответим.
Now, divine as my company undoubtedly is, I have an eternity to catch up with you. A luxury few others at this party possess. Don't let me deprive them of your company, or mine, for that matter. It's not every day a newborn god shows up to the reunion. Haven't you any ambitions, Tara? I could help you, you know.
Tara?
Well, there he is. Gale in all his glory. I hope you're happy. The god of ambition. Have you ever heard anything more ridiculous? Not in the least. And who led him straight to such ridiculous notions, Who left that crown in the river where any foolish wizard could swim down?
Не перекладывай на меня это.
You were looking out for him. I expected better of you.
Гейл человек самостоятельный, Тара.
He was mine. Though now he belongs only to his own pride. I know there's nothing you could have done to stop him. Not really. Once he'd decided to learn nothing from his mistakes, what use were either of our protests? Perhaps you'd be willing to come meet Gale's mother sometime? She misses him so. And I know it would do her heart a world of good to discuss her son with someone who knew him as he was.
Я подумаю.
See that you do. We'd love to have you. Things have been rather quiet without himself cluttering up the place. Enjoy your party, dear. I've heard you quite deserve a celebration.
Кошка, эта Трессум, она довольно такая, возрастная. Так, ну мы со всеми поговорили. Что, сваливаем? Где иссохший-то?
This one night is like any other, and yet different. Thou art the savior of Baldur's Gate, until such time it requires saving again. How dost thou feel?
Я рад наконец-то вырваться из ада. Что счастья в малом, все такое.
I am pleased to hear it. The satisfaction of one's intention is, to my surprise, a rare accomplishment. Enjoy the revelry of the day. Thou deservest at least that much.
Думаю, достаточно времени просто своими спутниками. Что дальше?
What indeed? Prick up thy ears and listen. The balance of the world restored. The balance of these lives, mortal and otherwise, brought to account.
Ой, блин, я со шкрябом в них поговорила.
Thou heroes, wastrels, friends. I have waited long to tell you these words. It is over. For now. Thou played thy part in weaving the fabric of fate itself, but for every thread you sewed, so did the gods unravel another. Sleep, rest, revel, but be ready, for thou mayst yet be needed. Until we meet again, I wish thee every possible fortune, health, wealth,
Until we meet again.
and above all, problems worth solving.
За лучших друзей, которых только можно мечтать.
To you.
Аллилуйя, ребятки, мы закончили! Это и был эпилог. Тут титры у нас идут, он свинвинки, директед. Спасибо, что посмотрели, спасибо, что были со мной на протяжении всего этого прохождения. Дальше, те, кто из вас в курсе, у нас дальше голосование. У меня на ДЗЕНе висело. Там несколько игр представлено, которые я дальше буду проходить. Хочу пройти. И вы можете выбрать, что я буду проходить. Так что потыкайте там, пока есть время. Не забывайте. Так, после титров-то что-нибудь есть? А то сейчас я попрощаюсь с вами, а тут... Сцена после титров.
The dead three. Thy faces gods, thy actions barely worthy of the name. Didst truly believe thy ploy would succeed? Didst believe...
Ну, Исокша это точно Джергал, который и дал этим троим божественность.
But souls vanish when their hosts become mind flayers. Didst think the other gods would not notice? Gods thou may be, yet thou hast proven thyself fools, everyone. The supplication of Bane, the whimper of Baal, the death mule of Merkel, felled by mortals. I overestimated thee. They did not. Vermin, away. Thou wilt trouble us no more.
Прикольная фреска. Мы закончили. Не забывайте смотреть другие видео. Дальше больше. Подписываться на канал тоже не забывайте, потому что, опять же, статистика показывает, что вы смотрите меня без подписок. Спасибо вам и до новых встреч. Пока-пока.